Jacob Grey TWC 9 Atlas magazine. Let's just see what we do here at 12 with the Jacob Grey. Let's go ask price. A few months ago, I did a tabletop video on the Jacob Grey TWC 9. That's the throwback with capacity 9mm double stack 1911 style or 2011 style, except 2011 is already a copyrighted number or name apparently. And I never got a chance to shoot it because it was a brand new gun at firearms and it was for sale. They hadn't yet sold it, so I just did a tabletop. I got my hands on one finally, and you can see it's equipped with an optic. And I'm going to shoot it today. We're even going to put we did a comparison in that original video with a Staccato P. So I just happen to have a Staccato P. We're going to do some side by side with it. Stay with me. All right, thanks for joining me today while we look at the Jacob Grey TWC 9 throwback with capacity. Nice little interesting addition to the double stack. Some unique things about this. A lot of the double stack type guns have a combination of aluminum or steel and polymer grip. This is all a machined aluminum grip. It's out of aircraft grade aluminum. I mentioned all the specs in my original video. I'm going to post it probably up here somewhere, or I'll put a link. Anyway, you'll be able to find my old video on it. It's got all the specs, so I'm not going to go through all of those today. But some comparisons. Again, if I'm going to put this up against the Staccato P, we'll look at price. $24.99 for each of these guns. However, the Jacob Grey comes with 2 optic mounting plates, gives you at least somewhat of a variety of choices, whereas the Staccato P doesn't come with any, unless you buy it with an optic on it, which costs you a whole lot. We're going to talk about that in just a second. The mounting plates for the optics on the Staccato P are, I believe, about $130 a piece. So if you get 1 optic plate, now you're $130 more, whereas you get 2 optics plates with this gun. They both come with 17-round magazines. The magazines for the Jacob Grey are made by Checkmate. They look identical to the ones that come with the Staccato, and I've also got some Atlas mags that work in it too. So they make a package for the Jacob Grey that comes with a Zerotech Thrive HD optic and I believe 5 17-round magazines, and that's going to set you back in the neighborhood of $2,900. Now, if you get an optics plate and the least expensive optic, you get a whole bunch of different optics on the Staccato site, but the least expensive one is I believe is a Holosun 507C. So you get one of those and you add a few more of their magazines to make it 5 magazines total. You're going to be at $3,120. So again, an advantage to the Jacob Grey. Other advantages to it. The trigger on the website for the Jacob Grey is listed at 3.5 pounds. I check it out to about 2 3/4 on my scale. The Staccato P is listed at 4 to 4.5, comes out to about 3.5 on my scale. This has a one-piece machined aluminum trigger, which is nice. I do like the straight trigger on it, no doubt about it. A couple of differences though. This is a 4 1/4-inch barrel. Staccato P is 4.4-inch barrel. Again, this has the machined aluminum frame, whereas the Staccato you can get with an aluminum polymer combination or a steel polymer combination. Mine happens to be steel, so it's a little heavier. And that gets us into weight on this. The weight on the Jacob Grey is supposed to be 30 ounces. If I add 18 rounds, 124 grain 9mm ammunition, I come out with 43.8 ounces. The Staccato P says it's going to be either 28 or 33, depending on whether it's a steel frame or aluminum frame or steel frame. I've got the steel frame. Mine comes out to 46.4 ounces with, again, 18 rounds, 124 grain ammo. So you take away the difference of the 5 ounces for the difference between the aluminum and the steel, you come out with 41.4 ounces. So about a little over 2 ounces less. Now, again, these have different optics on them. That's going to make up some of the weight. But again, the aluminum frame Staccato P will be just a little bit lighter than the aluminum frame Jacob Grey. A couple of other differences though. The Staccato just has a single slot rail. There's a 4-slot rail on this, which also makes the dust cover just a little bit longer. And again, I'm sure that the combination of aluminum polymer frame on the Staccato makes the frame just a little bit lighter. So that's going to eat up about 2 ounces. Let's see, an orange dot front sight. That's I believe that's from XS. That's the letter X, the letter S, big dot sights, I believe. The rear sight is part of the cover plate or the optics plate. So obviously take the cover plate off and put the optics plates on, and you're still going to have the higher co-witness sights on this. All right, they're both bull barrel guns. Here's the Staccato, and you can see that it's just a regular taper bull barrel. whereas a little bit different design on the Jacob Grey. It's straight on the bottom and then it gets larger on the top. Now I can see where the machining comes in on the Jacob Grey, because again, they're an aerospace machining company, so they've got lots of expertise in machining things. You can see the slide serrations are a little bit different between the two. I haven't noticed any difference in being able to function them. They are a little more aggressive on the Staccato, but I haven't had any issues in working these with regular hand, or even a couple times I worked them with gloves on, and they do seem to work okay on the Jacob Grey. One nice thing about the Staccato, however, it does have the toolless guide rod, real easy to take that down. I haven't taken this one apart yet. It looks like it's got possibly a two-piece guide rod in there. Not sure if that's going to make any difference in how the takedown is on it or not. Magazine release on the Jacob Grey has texture on it. Now again, this is an older Staccato P. It's smooth. I'm not sure if the new ones have any kind of texture on it or not. And again, a curved trigger that is adjustable for over travel on the Staccato. No over travel adjustment on the Jacob Grey. But again, so far I'd get at 3.5 pounds or 2 3/4 on my scale. It's working okay. And again, the gun is empty. Almost no take up on the Jacob Grey, and well, gotta have the grip safety in, of course. Little bit of movement, but not much, and just very short. It's like an on-off switch. I mean, it's like a good 1911 type trigger should be, whereas Staccato, just a little bit heavier. A lot more take up on the Staccato, but again, clean and crisp, no over travel on them. So relatively comparable guns. Big complaint I had about two complaints I had about the Jacob Grey. One of which, by the way, seems to be solved on this, and that is a pinch point right here. I mentioned that in my original video, whereas when shooting with a real high grip, which is how I shoot a 1911, I was getting a pinch right in here. The safety on this appears to be a little bit different than the original. Maybe they've changed their machining on them, and I don't get that anymore. So problem solved there. The grip texture is what I had the complaint with. And I still have that issue because they haven't changed the grip. Now, I like the looks of the grip texture. I understand how they did that or why they did that. It looks cool, and it certainly looks different. But I just don't get any solid grip with my secondary hand when I'm shooting my usual two-handed type grip. Whereas on the Staccato, obviously there's quite a bit of grip texture. Both guns have mag wells. The mag well on my Staccato P is a little bigger than the mag well on the Jacob Grey. Let's see, I gotta have a cheat sheet in front of me for the statistics here. The Jacob Grey website says that the guns are thinner, the grip is thinner on their TWC 9 than it is on a regular 1911. For comparison, my Alpha Foxtrot Government 1911 with relatively thin G10 grips on it comes out to 1.315 inches. That's measuring from one side to the other with calipers. The Jacob Grey, same distance, measuring from one side to the other with same caliper, 1.30, so 15 hundredths of an inch or 15 thousandths of an inch. Just a hair slimmer than a government model with slim grips. Staccato comes out to exactly the same, again, 1.30 inches. Where the difference seems to be between them, and again, this is maybe a disadvantage on the Staccato, is when you measure front to back, right below the grip safety, comes out to 1 or 2.1 inches on the Staccato, comes out to 2.03 inches on the Jacob Grey. So it's just a little bit more comfortable grip, not quite as much as stretch. I've got medium-sized hands. Whereas on a 1911, it comes out to 1.95 inches. The one thing about the regular 1911 though is the way the grip tapers. This feels a lot slimmer just because of the taper of the grip itself. They can't do that with a double stack, so therefore it's more of a boxy grip, and it's just about as wide in front as it is in back. However, with just that little bit of difference in the front to back on the Jacob Grey versus the Staccato, grip safety aside, grip texture aside, the Jacob Grey is more comfortable to hold in my hand. All right, enough yapping about it. We've given all the statistics. I want to see what difference is shooting between the new Jacob Grey TWC 9 and the Staccato P. All right, first up, let's try the Jacob Grey using their Checkmate magazine. Again, these are identical to the Staccato magazines. And even my 20 round Atlas magazine fits in there quite well. I've swapped magazines between the Staccato and the Jacob Grey, and they each work with each other's magazine. All right. Just a simple test here, nothing fancy, just a simple here, 12 yards. See where it goes. You know we got to start with start asking Alice here, and then the plate. Well, what can I say? Nice shoot. Of course, the Trigicon SRO sight makes it easy too, but I'm not the fastest shot in the world, but okay, I will admit I didn't have any hand slippage. You didn't see me changing my grip after each shot. Did slip on the texture. All right, try the same thing with the Staccato. Now, bear in mind the Staccato that I have is the steel frame, not the aluminum frame, and of course I've got the Leupold Delta point on it, not the Trigicon SRO. So, same routine. Let's go ask Alice. Three-inch. A little flinch there on the last. All right, it seemed to run just a hair faster. Again, was that just because I don't know what the reason is. It didn't slip in a hand. Now I am feeling a lot more texture on the front, which I'm getting with a primary hand. I didn't really notice any difference on the secondary hand, where the heel of my hand is meshing into that texture grip. I didn't notice any. I think if anything, the advantage of the steel frame made a recovery just a little bit faster. So right now, I will take back what I said about the lack of texture on the side of that, the Jacob Grey. So far, I'm impressed. All right, let's take it on 25 to see if I can do anything over there. All right, start with the TWC 9 using an Atlas magazine. Only got 15 rounds in the 20 round mag, but that's enough to start with. And let's go for the woodchuck on the right. Yellow crow. Head flipper on the black silhouette. Get it back. Ah, come on. Woodchuck. Yellow standing prairie dog. 6-inch over there on the left. 12-inch. 10-inch. 8-inch. Center of the red silhouette. Get it back. Did not get it back after 15 rounds. All right, got to try the same thing here with the Staccato. Let's start by getting that head flipper back. Orange raccoon. Come on. Come on, I'm trying to get that yellow crow. There we go. Woodchuck. Standing prairie dog. 6-inch, way over there on the left. Pulled that one. 12-inch. Center of the red silhouette. And again, got it out, couldn't get it back. All right, comparable so far, but you know I got to try it at 50. First up, Jacob Grey TWC 9. Now, I have not messed with those sights at all. This is exactly how the gun came when I borrowed it. And let's just see what I can do here at 50. Start with the silver silhouette square, 16-inch, black center, 12-inch below that, 10-inch to the left of the 16, 8-inch below that. Ah, pulled that one. There we go, 6-inch to the left of that. And missed it on the last shot. And let's see what I can do with the Staccato. Same routine. Silver rectangle. 16-inch. 12-inch. 10-inch. 8-inch. 6-inch. Now, the only reason I got that 6, because it's my gun, I've got to sight it exactly where I want. I did pattern the Jacob Grey right before we went on camera, and it was shooting a hair to the right, but again, that's how the owner had it sighted in, worked for him. I'm not going to mess with it, and I didn't compensate enough for that on the 6. I'm sure it would have done it. Got a couple of shots left. We haven't done the silhouette there to the right of the 12. Huh, did it move? I don't know. And back to the 16. Silhouette back to the square. And there it is. I don't want to say it redeemed itself, because I didn't really have any negatives other than that one pinch point, which appears to be corrected. I stand corrected on the side grip on the frame. That didn't bother me at all, even shooting rapidly. Jacob Grey TWC 9 advantages. Price advantage when it comes to optics, because it comes with the 2 plates. Everything else is pretty comparable. It does have a really nice fit, feel. Very well machined, very well put together. Of course, you got the longer pick rail on it. Very nice contouring on the very slight reverse crown on the barrel. Not sure if you can see that there. And again, I think it's 2-piece guide rod. I haven't taken it apart yet, but I do like the feel. When I did the original one, I said I'm not going to trade my Staccato P, and now I tell you, I'm thinking about it. This has just a better feel overall than my Staccato, certainly in the grip. All right, Jacob Grey TWC 9. Maybe a little longer than I should have gone in the video, but really wanted to give it a chance to shake it out and see how this gun was going to work, and right now it's working pretty good. Thanks for dropping in. Let's see, these are for the thumbnail. Get a Charlie's Angels ready position. Nah, I don't know if I like that one or not.